Hello and welcome to another one of my Vanguard portfolio videos. I do them every month and this month is my November update. Check out my other ones, including my October update if you have not seen it already. This will be a continuation of that and how my portfolio has grown and changed since then. Okay, so let's jump right into it. I'm going to record my screen and I also have my phone just so I can see what my portfolio was doing last month and I can compare it for you guys. So let me record my screen and we'll jump straight into it. Right, so the first thing that we can see is that my ISA value is £2,894.87. Now, last month it was £2,698.15, so that's really good. We all know the market's been going crazy at the moment, so I've had really good returns. And that shows in my ISA value. It's gone up by quite a bit for me, so I'm really pleased with that. And another thing that you can see is the rate of return. I don't think my rate of return since opening this Vanguard portfolio has been that good. It's 14%, just over 14%. That's incredible. As I've said in the other videos, this figure does alter depending on what you put in. So you will see this increase if you put in a lump sum investment. So you have to take this with a little bit of pinch of salt and know that can change it as well. But actually, we'll have a look into my transactions, but I don't think I've made any investments since the last portfolio update. I've just rejigged things, but don't hold me accountable on that one. We will check. So in October the 14th was when my last video was filmed, and today is November the 16th. So just over a month. My personal rate of return last month was 2.87%. 2.87, and now it's 14%, 14.02. That's insane. That is so good. I'm really happy with that. With the stock market, obviously comes crashes and, up, downs all the time. And we do seem to be in a really big hype of it at the moment. It's all going crazy and there will probably be a crash to come, I'm sure. And this will go down. I'm in it for the long haul. This is my long-term investment. So I'm not going to get emotionally attached and I'm just going to understand that these things happen, and over time, compound interest will work its magic, and hopefully I'll have a nice pot of money sitting there when I come to retire. Right, largest holding is the S&P 500, and this hasn't changed. The largest holding last time was also the S&P 500. It makes up slightly more of my complete portfolio at 54.89%. Last time it was 53.66%. That's just to do with how I've rejigged my portfolio, but we will get onto that. You can see here my last transaction, but I'm going to leave that for now as we'll jump into that in a minute. So let's go into my investments. This is where it's changed quite a lot since last time. So last time I had the Life Strategy 100% fund. I had FTSE 100, FTSE Developed Europe excluding UK, and the S&P. I had 4 funds. Now this time I do have 5. And last time I spoke about how I was a little bit worried about the weightings in my portfolio and whether it was as diversified as I wanted it to be. Because of that, I have decided to rejig it a little bit and I've got to the point that I'm at now. I still have some concerns and this is not my perfect portfolio by any means. I'm still working towards it. I'm still learning all the time. I'm still very much a beginner to this, so it's not going to be perfect, but I am investing and I think that is the most important thing for any beginner, just to get in there and to start as early as possible. Actually, speaking about a perfect portfolio, plugging my own video here, I have recently made a video on how to build your perfect Vanguard portfolio, so check that out somewhere on the screen now if you're interested in that. So the biggest change has been that I switched my holdings in the Life Strategy 100 and I put that into the FTSE Global All Cap. Some people watching this will think, why on earth have you done that? That was a silly move. Some people will think, yeah, good on you, Hayley. That was a really good move. Investing is a really personal thing. And as I said, I'm still learning. So now for the weightings. Last time I had just over 53% in the S&P. I now have nearly 55%. So that's slightly increased. I had just over 1.15% in the FTSE Developed Europe. I now have 1.15, so that's not changed. I actually still have the same amount in that. FTSE 100, I did have 32.48, and now I've got slightly less at 31.37. And I was saying in previous videos that was my biggest holding for a long time, and I did want to move away from that. I wanted a more globally diverse portfolio. I'm very aware that a lot of the FTSE 100 companies are global companies. These are massive companies that operate in many countries. But I didn't just want the FTSE 100 to be my dominant holding in my portfolio. So I'm trying to reduce that. It's still quite high in my opinion at 31%, but I think it will go down over time as I invest more into other funds. Last time I had nearly 11% in the Life Strategy 100 fund. As I said, I've swapped that now. I've now got about the same percentage, but in the FTSE Global All Cap. And like I said as well, the reason for that is just to get a really global portfolio. And obviously the Global All Cap does exactly that. The one thing that I'm still a little bit unsure about, and please do, give me suggestions, give me tips, give me comments in the comments below about this. I'm still a little bit unsure whether this portfolio is a good portfolio. And the reason that I'm concerned is I'm worried that there's a lot of overlaps going on and a lot of duplications. When I was very much a beginner, my main worry was getting it to be global and diversified. I believe I've achieved that now. I've got my global funds. I don't necessarily have an Asia Pacific or a Japanese targeted fund, but I've got my global one. But other than that, I think it's a really all-round global portfolio. So I've checked that off my list. That was one problem. Now I'm a little bit concerned that there is a lot of duplication. I've got a lot of the same investments amongst different funds, and there's just a lot of crossover. And like I said in the video that I made recently about how to build your perfect portfolio, having duplication is a little bit pointless. It's not the best thing to do. Why put your money into something that is it's just duplicated? You might as well invest in a different market. So that is something that I'm definitely going to be looking into. And Vanguard's trying to log me out. Let's keep me in. Yeah, that's something I'm definitely going to be looking into. And over the next months, really try to understand more about the different funds on offer and what I want my portfolio to be, and just to get there. So let's move on to the next section. Let's go to the performance section. So far into my Vanguard ISA, I have contributed £2,648.70 and I have made £246.17, giving a rate of return of 14.02. Mega chuffed with that, really happy. And you can see as of recently, we've had a little bit of a surge that started near the end of August by the looks of it. But as I said, and as you'll know, the stock markets have been doing really well recently. So that will be why that's happening. Again, if we look at this page, the calculations page, you'll see that how much investment I have gained or lost. So I'm in a positive, I've gained. The investments that I've sold, any interest and dividends and so on, charges, you can see all that here, absolutely fine. Not too interesting, to be honest. And if we just look here, we can see that I still have £18,951 available tax allowance remaining in my ISA, which if I was in the position to, I would have this maxed out year on year, because I think that's a really beneficial thing to do. I do have money to invest, but right now I'm renting and I want to get onto the property ladder. So I'm trying to keep some money in my bank, which is not ideal with inflation. I'm literally losing money, I know. But yeah, trying to keep some savings to pay deposits and stuff like that on houses in the future. So I would have way more into this if it was sensible for me right now. And unfortunately, it doesn't really seem that way. I might put a little bit more in over the next months, but if I could max this out, trust me, I would. Available cash in my ISA, just under £40, and that's there just to pay off any fees that I need to pay. And also if I want to make an investment, I'll probably have to top that up a little bit, but yes, it's always worth having some money sitting in there anyway. And then transactions. So I said that I filmed my last one on the 14th of October, so we need to see what's happened since then. So only 3 things have happened since the 14th of November. We have had the sale of the Life Strategy Fund on the 19th. So that sold for £293.93. And on the same day, I bought into the Global All Cap, as I said, and whatever it sold for, I put all that money back into the Global All Cap, and that's how many units I got right there. And as well, I forgot about this one. Guys, I've just literally looked at this now and realised something that I completely forgot I did. I've also invested a tiny amount, £16.09p, into the ESG Global All Cap. I literally forgot about that, and I just looked at all my investments. I didn't even mention it. I can't even remember doing that. I'm someone that cares a lot about the environment and things like that, so that would be why I invested into that. I see it as a very good long-term future investment, but I don't seem to have too much money in it, and I completely forgot about it, which is not good at all. Yeah, it doesn't even make up 1% of my portfolio. I'm really not entirely sure what was going on there. Maybe I clicked the wrong button. I don't know. I really don't know what happened there, but yeah, I'm going to have a look into that and see what I want to do with that. I'll probably, I don't know. There will be a lot, I'm sure there'll be a lot of duplication in this portfolio now. Is what it is. That is pretty much it. We've gone through the main changes since last month. We found that I've made an investment I didn't even remember making, which really isn't sensible. I was probably scripting a video and I was half asleep, and that's what happened. But I suppose that's a good thing to have happened, rather than going out and spending my money on other things that I won't remember. So yeah. And I suppose that is another fantastic reason for me to carry on making these videos, to keep myself accountable, to continually try and improve my understanding, and to try and get my portfolio to where it needs to be and where I want it to be. And just so I'm not doing things like that, I suppose. That fund is a really good fund. It's just whether I want that included in my portfolio or not. I need to have a look into that. If you have any opinions on my portfolio, good or bad, please let them be constructive. I'm still learning, but do pop them in the comments below. If you want to lend a helping hand, please do. If you've enjoyed this video and you enjoy any of my videos, please give the channel a like, and give the video a like, and the channel, please subscribe to it. I'm still trying to grow here, and that would be really appreciated. Thank you everyone for watching, and I'll see you in the next video.